This week on the Progressive Bass Wrap-Up Show, we take a look back at some of the exciting trails and tournaments we brought you this year, from the Bassmaster Classic to the regional charity tournaments, including the Texas Team Trail, the Big Bass Tour, and the Carolinas Bass Challenge. Plus, we'll hear from Sportsman's Warehouse pros Anthony Gagliardi and Brian Thrift as they review the latest gear in our Sportsman's Warehouse product spotlights. All that and a whole lot more starts right now. Hey everyone, thanks for watching. Here at the Progressive Bass Wrap-Up Show, as you know, each and every week, we try to bring you the best tournaments we can find across the country, whether it's professional, charity, or team trail events, which have become more popular than ever this past year. We're gonna look back this week and show you the best of the best. This year marked the 11th year Carolina bass fishermen said thanks to area military men and women with the annual Warriors on the Water tournament on Jordan Lake. Bass fishermen are a loyal and dedicated group, and honoring our military is something not taken lightly. In its 11th year, the Warriors on the Water Military Appreciation Bass Tournament was hosted recently at New Hope Boat Ramp on Jordan Lake in North Carolina. Service members from Fort Bragg, Pope Army Airfield, and Camp Lejeune participated in this one-day event. Warriors on the Water is a nonprofit organization founded by 3 retired military men, Hal Abshire, Bob Cunningham, and Greg Lahr, all who served in Desert Storm, and exists with the sole mission to say thank you to those in the armed services. Active duty service members, co-anglers, are teamed with their boaters and set out to have a great day of bass fishing on Lake Jordan. The anglers had a great time and brought in some nice bass. Army, represented by Tim Parks and boater Ed Wentland, took first place with 22 pounds, 14 ounces, and also won the Big Bass Award with a whopper weighing 7 pounds, 9 ounces. That brought them a check for $250. From local charity tournaments like Warriors on the Water to big Bassmaster events like the Bassmaster Classic, our cameras bring the action straight to you. The 2016 Bassmasters Classic on Grand Lake in Oklahoma was an incredible event, as they usually always are. However, this year's event had a few more surprises. We all know Edwin Evers grabbed the title with an incredible Sunday limit of 29 pounds, 3 ounces, passing Jason Christie, who had a great 6-pound lead, but a horrific last day. Here's a recap of our coverage of the 2016 Bassmasters Classic.
Hey, we're here, day 3, blast off for the Bassmaster Classic in 2016 on Grand, and I'm feeling good. We got a weather change. It's warm this morning, but it's a little breezy. But hopefully that weather change brings those big girls up and we're able to catch them, because we're about 12 pounds back from Christie, so we're gonna need a big day today. We're gonna need that dirty 30. We're gonna need 30 pounds today to make things interesting.
Man, I'm excited about it. It's where you want to be going in the final day at the Classic, and man, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. It's gonna be exciting.
All right, so here we are. We just pulled in a pocket. We found Chris Lane. Casey Ashley's just down the bank. You know, a lot of the stuff you're going to see these guys fish is your real typical stuff of how you're probably going to see them catch them. You know, we've had the sun come up. It rises on the east. It's been on this bank. So these rocks here are starting to heat up the fastest. And he's going down the bank covering water. I think that's going to be the deal for this tournament. You know, I know Wigglewort's going to be a big deal. Spinner bait's already come into play. Chris has 2 in the boat right now, and I think these guys just keep running these pockets just like this. We'll see them catch some fish here.
Oklahoma, let me hear it for 37 pounds, 9 ounces, look for 22, 15, 12 pounds, 9 ounces. Edwin Evers has done it. The Boaters Super Beatdown belongs to Edwin Evers, your 2016 Geico Bassmaster Classic champion.
Coming up, we head to Clarks Hill Lake near Augusta, Georgia for a rainy Big Bass Tour, then off to Texas for the Texas Team Trail event on Toledo Bend. But first, here's Sportsman Warehouse pro Anthony Gagliardi with a look at some of the new gear for this season.
Hi there, I'm Anthony Gagliardi, Sportsman's Warehouse Pro, and I'm here with another episode today of the Sportsman's Warehouse Product Spotlight. Today we're going to be showing you a little bit about Buckeye's sled. This is a sled and a Magnum sled, and basically what this is, it's a lead head or a jig head that enables you to screw a bait onto the top of this lead, which gives it a unique action in the water. Not necessarily like a traditional shaky head, but your weight is actually up under the bait, as much like a sled would be, and this just allows this bait to come up and over rocks, and it drags across the bottom, always stays upright like this, and it's just a really unique presentation that works pretty much all times of the year, wintertime and summertime. This one right here is the Magnum sled. You can see it has a 5/0 EWG hook, which lets you utilize a bigger plastic bait like this big brush hog, a full-size brush hog. At the same time, the sled, same shape, same head design, but it utilizes a smaller round bend hook, and this is the one I'll go to if I'm wanting to throw a little bit smaller bait. I think this is a Kitech Crazy Flapper that you can get at Sportsman's Warehouse also. Just a little bit more of a, not necessarily finesse, but just a smaller bait, smaller profile, different type presentation, but both of them are fished pretty much identical. And let's cast it out and I'll show you how you fish these things. Basically, all you're gonna do with this bait, cast it out like I just did, you're gonna let it go to the bottom. You're gonna fish it much the same way you would a football jig. You're gonna pull it 12, 16, 18 inches at a time, reel your slack up and pull it again. You're just basically dragging it on the bottom. And that head design is really good for just giving you a really good feel of the bottom. You can tell the bottom content. It comes up and over the rocks really good. And the way that hook is positioned upright, because of that flat head, you get really good hook sets. And this hook's super strong, so when you get a bite, don't be afraid to wind down and lay into them. And you can catch a lot of fish in deeper water on these rocky ledges and things of that sort. So check them out, sportswarehouse.com.
This portion of the Progressive Bass Wrap-Up Show is presented by Progressive, a leader in boat insurance. Brought to you by Ranger Boats, still building legends one at a time. See for yourself by going to rangerboats.com, and by your local Sportsman's Warehouse, featuring quality Rapala baits, lures, apparel, and more.
Toledo Bend Reservoir is located on the Sabine River between Louisiana and Texas. The lake has an area of 185,000 acres, and it's full of bass. Everything is bigger in Texas, and this trail keeps up with that reputation. Over 300 teams have registered for this event alone. Team angler Steven Johnson sets up this event for us.
Second event. Boy, Mother Nature's taking care of us on this one. We got some wind issues, but tomorrow it's supposed to be in the high 70s, and here we are in February, so it's nice. We're gonna have 300 plus here. The water temperatures in the, high 50s, low 60s, and those fish are biting, and there's a lot of people out. So this event, there's a lot of fish already up. There's got to be some out. We're still going to stay out and fish deep tomorrow. The wind is going to play a factor. They're saying, 8 to 10, but that's kind of what they're saying today. And, we've got some good 3-foot rollers out there. It could be scary how many fish over 10 pounds being caught.
It was a really rough practice yesterday. I didn't catch my first fish till about 3 o'clock. Caught a few little ones, and then probably about 4 o'clock, I hooked into about a 7-pounder, and it was over here on the rock pile that we're fishing. And so our game plan today was come back over here, see if we can't get any more of the bigger fish that are moving up into that rock pile from the deeper brush piles right off to the left of it. To win, I think you're probably gonna have to have 27 pounds to win. Just from the tournament that I seen last week, I know there were a lot of good fish caught last week. So hopefully if we get a couple more big ones, we'll be pretty close, at least be in the money.
Well, we caught 7, we probably had 9 keepers cold. We had about a 15-inch spot. We cold it with a decent little fish. But we've got 4 pretty good ones and a big one. So we'll see. Maybe it's good enough to get a check. But we've just kind of been sitting in this one spot all day long, having to weed through a lot of fish. Net. That's gonna help. There we go. Well, that one might help.
We saw many impressive bags come across the weigh-in stage, many 5-fish limits, but it was the team of Alan Fitz and James Dutton that found the big ones, weighing in a massive 32.01 pounds and taking home a paycheck of $33,420. Not a bad day on the water.
My goodness, I think we're going to be weighing a big bass, set the entire bag in there. Try not to break the scales now. Look out, 32.01, your new leader. Look at that, folks. Okay, we're looking for 878 to take the lead on Big Bass. Go ahead and set her in there. Total weight, 981, new Big Bass leader. Congratulations, guys. Great job.
The Progressive Bass cameras were on hand at a recent rainy event on Clarks Hill Lake at Wildwood Park. Through rain, fog, and a slight chill in the air, that didn't keep the area's anglers from going for the big win. The Big Bass Tour's format is a little bit different, and from what we know, anglers love it. The tournament offers hourly payouts for the biggest single fish. Yes, I said hourly, allowing the anglers the opportunity to weigh in multiple times throughout the day. Usually two-day events, the Clarks Hill event was on a holiday weekend, so prize money was doubled. That means these anglers braved the rain and fog to possibly win $2,000 each hour. There's a guaranteed $42,350 in total hourly payouts. The angler that brings in the largest fish of the tournament wins the grand prize, a brand new boat motor trailer combination worth $33,175. Not a bad payback check for a day or two on the water. There's plenty more coming up after the break, but before we go, let's test your knowledge of the best bass boat manufacturer in the industry, Ranger Boats. This week's question of the week: who is the only angler to win both the Forest Wood Cup and the Walmart Bass Fishing League All-American? Find out by logging on to mydreamrig.com.
Today's show is presented by Progressive Insurance. Just ask Flo. She knows how to save on boat insurance. Sponsored by Evinrude, proven power, proven reliability. By Buckeye Lures, specializing in custom-made baits. And by Stratos Boats. Inspiration runs deep.
A little snowstorm on Thursday helped usher in the first tournament of the season for the Angler's Choice Marine Team Trails Virginia Division up on Smith Mountain Lake near Roanoke, Virginia. The cold early morning with semi-overcast skies, with periods of sun peaking throughout the day, and water temperatures in the mid to upper 40s gave more than the 177 teams a challenge to snare their limit of 5 Smith Mountain Lake bass to start the season off with a win.
Well, we're just fishing a bluff bank, a little bit of an outside river channel, and it slams against this wall, so we're just fishing just a winter pattern. Hoping that they're staging up on this bluff bank. Usually pull current on Saturdays on this lake, so should be some current down there.
And what will it take to win this early tournament?
Wouldn't surprise me for someone to have 16 pounds plus today. You get a lot of big fish this time of year. Not a lot of numbers, but usually the fish are good quality, because you're either going to get a reaction bite or maybe a shaky head fish on a point, a rock bluff that a few stumps that are deep, or a brush pile. But usually the big fish, for whatever reason, are caught early.
Many of the teams did well, catching good size, small and largemouth bass.
We didn't have a fish until about 10:30, then we made a long run up the river and found some clear water up there, and a little 25-yard stretch. We caught every single one of our fish.
In today's weigh-in at Smith Mountain Lake, it took over 20 pounds, 5 fish 20, I think 0.64 pounds to win. Our top 3 teams all had over 20 pounds. We saw a lot of 5 fish limits that had a lot of really fat, good-looking largemouth with big bellies on them and smallmouth. A lot of fun with those fish, a lot of good-looking, healthy fish today.
Thanks, Chris. Always a great time with your crew. Another regional trail we like to keep up with here at the Progressive Bass Wrap-Up Show is the Carolinas Bass Challenge. And there's not a better tournament to keep up with the Carolinas Bass Challenge than the one they had on Santee Cooper earlier this year.
All right, welcome to beautiful Santee Cooper, homes of Lake Marion and Lake Moultrie, over 177,000 acres of fishable water. A bunch of anglers was talking about fish maybe moving up. We're seeing water temperatures anywhere on the main lake ranging from 55 up to 62 degrees in the backwater pockets. The big girls are getting ready to move up. Our anglers are out there trying to get on them.
I think it's going to be a big difference between first and second. It usually is. Fishing right now.
Some of the baits they'll be using today can range anywhere from your typical spinnerbait, and I've heard they've been catching them on all the way to crankbait, jig, flipping shallow water.
Close to 130 teams competed for cash and prizes. 355 fish were caught and weighed in, resulting in, ready for this, 1,282 pounds of fish crossing the scales, and it took 20 pounds to be in the top 20. The big fish competition was tight, beginning at 8.39 and topping out with a massive 9.53 pound lunker. That lunker was also part of the winning 32.55 pound sack of Brian Cook and Steve Harmon. There's more straight ahead when the Progressive Bass Wrap-Up Show continues, right after another look at some gear with Sportsman's Warehouse Pro Brian Thrift.
Hi, Sportsman's Warehouse Pro Brian Thrift here with another Sportsman's Warehouse product spotlight. I'm going to show you the bait and the combination that's probably made me more money than anything in my career. This is a Damiki Mamba jig with a Damiki knockout on it. I've got 20-pound P-line, and this is my new Brian Thrift Signature Series Fitzgerald skipping rod. I designed this rod for skipping this jig under docks, under overhanging brush, anywhere that you can get to fish that 90% of the rest of the people on the lake aren't fishing for. And what I like to do with this, I'll start my cast as a roll cast. It's a two-handed roll cast, and get that bait skipping across the water. I can get it 10, 20 feet under a dock, up under a lay-down bush, and that's what I've designed this rod for. It's a 6'9" heavy action. It's got a soft tip where you can really load it up and make a good skip cast underneath the structure that you're trying to get to the hard-to-reach fish. Again, all this is available 24/7 at sportsmanswarehouse.com, America's premier outfitters.
You're watching the Progressive Bass Wrap-Up Show, presented by Progressive Insurance, a leader in boat insurance, by Ranger Boats, by Evinrude, by Buckeye Lures, by Stratus Boats, and by Sportsman's Warehouse.
Welcome everybody to this week's installment of the Progressive Insider. Did you know that Progressive Insurance offers tailor-made coverage perfect for bass fishermen? Folks, all you tournament competitors know that bass fishermen travel long distances for competitions. We don't keep our boats in the water, they're on the trailer. Progressive offers trailer trip interruption coverage. Bass fishermen travel long distances to compete in tournaments or just to go fun fishing. You're not keeping your boat in the water, you're keeping it on your trailer, towing it behind your vehicle, often long distances. Trailer trip interruption protects not only your trailer and your boat, it protects your trip. If you're more than 100 miles from home and your tow vehicle and or trailer is damaged or disabled, Progressive will pay up to $500 per occurrence while you're waiting for the repairs to be made. Think about it. For only $10 per year, you can have coverage that'll provide you food, lodging, transportation until you're back on the road. Now, I don't know about you, but well, I do know about you because I know about me. I fish a lot better with peace of mind, and with this kind of peace of mind, you can relax and remember what you came there for, have fun, concentrate on the fish, not worry about your equipment, your tow vehicle, trailer, your boat. Those are major investments. Progressive's got you covered. $10 a year. Take a load off your mind, relax, get trailer trip interruption, and know that your trip won't be interrupted for very long.
We've been looking back at some great tournament trails across the country each and every week, and one that we always love to highlight is the Sportsman's Warehouse Dream Tournament on Lake Chickamauga in Tennessee. Here's tournament director and angler Brent Brady.
10th annual Sportsman's Warehouse Dream Bass Tournament, with the proceeds going to Silverdale Baptist Academy's athletic department. Wow, hard to believe, 10 years for this event. We launched about 122 anglers this morning from Chester Frost Park on Lake Chickamauga, headed out looking for a 5-fish limit. The weights in the area have been running around 25 to 30 pounds on a lot of post-spawn fish. Some of them, some of these fish are just now leaving some of these shallow areas. A lot of fish are in that 8 to 15 foot range right now, and so it'll be exciting, but so far we're hearing a lot of plastics. Swim baits are working real well. Lake Chickamauga is a very historical bass lake in the whole United States, and it's known far and wide for producing some trophy fish. and also nestled here in the foothills of the Tennessee River. This is a fantastic fishery and sandwiched between Watts Bar and Nickajack with Guntersville right below it. So that whole TBA system, like so many of these lakes, it all is current fed, and it makes a difference. Those fish, it's like a light switch. Whenever that comes on, those fish are going to move out.
Back at the weigh-in stage, we caught up with Sportsman's Warehouse manager Carl Schultz.
Well, we've been doing this for 10 years, and Sportsman's Warehouse is celebrating their 10th year here in Chattanooga. And it's very much an honor to be part of this same organization for 10 years. It's been organized by Brent Brady and the Silverdale crew. They've been doing it so well for so long, it's almost second nature. And it goes for a great cause. And the Sportsman's Warehouse is really happy to give back to the community. And we've been doing it. And I'm very proud of the store and my employees, and I even have a couple out here fishing today. So hopefully they'll bring home a couple big ones for Sportsman's Warehouse.
As the anglers made their way to the weigh-in stage, the story seemed to be the same. All the anglers caught fish, but quality was hard to come by. 27.30 was the winning tournament weight by Matt Windorf and Jim Coffer. Over $10,000 in cash and prizes were awarded this year, and all proceeds go to the Silverdale Academy Athletic Department. Hey everyone, we hope you've enjoyed our look back at the best of the best in 2016 here on the Progressive Bass Wrap-Up Show. For all your tournament coverage and information, don't forget to go to anglerschannel.com. And with that, we'll see you next week.